Hi Pisces, this is Amanda Nardozzi. Thanks for hopping into my little plant den here. We keep it warm here, we keep it cozy. Today's reading is going to be from May 13th to May 19th. And if this resonates with you, go ahead, like and subscribe, all the things. That way you don't miss updates from me. I do weeklies, collectives, everything in between. And that being said, I'm going to start shuffling and channeling. So drop into your heart space. Let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you and which messages are for others. I strongly encourage that you connect with your own spirit guides, your angel team, your loved ones on the other side, whoever it is you connect with. I will do the same. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for casting your light of protection around me at this time. And thank you, Spirit team and angel guides, for helping me channel the highest love, the highest empowerment, and the highest guidance for our Pisces collective. Straight from love, straight from source. Okay, I'm hearing that a lot of you need to remember who you are. So you are naturally intuitive. You are like a divine spark type of thing. And I don't mean to sound extremely cliche, Pisces, but I feel like Pisces, if you have big Pisces placements in your chart, you tend to be more intuitive than others. Or you could, it's almost like, I do hear like you have a clever way of doing things. And I get that sometimes with some, like in readings where you might have had to get scrappy in life. You might have had to get scrappy and you might have had to find clever or creative solutions to get through things. So you've had to overcome adversity in your life for a reason. I feel, so you have yin, and it's almost like you are coming back to your roots. You're coming back to yourself, and I'm hearing like you're trying to understand things. You're trying to make sense of something. And it's either something towards your purpose. It's almost like your aims or your goals, or there's something about like needing to stay true to yourself, and just there is something about like remembering who you are, because there's a lack of faith in the self. So when you have yin, this is the card about receiving. So again, I feel like this is very easy for you because you're naturally intuitive. I even feel like of the Pisces, if you're coming to this reading for whatever reason, I feel like just the collective energy that I'm talking to, I don't know if you're just used to being spiritual or used to being intuitive or having guidance or whatnot, but it's almost like you need to remember how guided and loved you are. It's almost like you need to recognize, like, I just feel like it's just remembering who you are. There's some type of solitude here that's being called for, and we're going to dig into each of these cards with the tarot in a second. With solitude, it's almost like you do have to come back to yourself. I'm hearing like it's like you have to reimagine your life, but you have to get grounded and situated in remembering who you are first, so that you can actually get the things that you want and achieve the things that fill your heart up. You have Stargazer too, set your sights higher. So a lot of this is, maybe you've shed some old skin recently, or maybe you've stepped out of a trying situation and you recognize that you deserve better. And maybe before you weren't able to see that you could get better, but there was some type of something that was shed, and now you see more possibility, and you actually see that this higher thing that you wanted for yourself, or, for example, if you left a toxic job, like, oh gosh, like, there are workforces out there where harmony exists on the team, or, oh crap, I can get a job that pays me more. Like, I am worth more than this, there's almost something here that's like, because you let go of something, or because you walked away from something, doesn't have to be a job, it's just a symbol, but, it's almost like you walked away from something, or a belief shifted, and you are recognizing that the world is more open to you than you previously thought, and you're like, oh snap. Let's talk about this yin. For a lot of you, you might actually be making big moves. You might be making like a move, period. The Six of Swords does indicate like a physical move of sorts. And like, again, passion project is coming into mind. I get that a lot with you, Pisces. Some type of passion project, a creative movement or creative momentum that you're gaining. But under the subtlety, under the signs that you're receiving, under the intuitive guidance that you would be getting, or the need to sit back and receive information, does relate to the Six of Swords movement. So again, this could be coming out of a belief system that you had, or shedding a certain belief that you've had. This could be quite literally just about a move or some type of traveling plans that you're making. But if it's not the physical move, it is moving out of one stage of your life or moving out of one chapter or just stepping away from something else and moving into calmer waters, moving into something that's more open, more possibility. Because you see how in the Six of Swords in this card, it's almost like he's traveling through a canal here. This boat is traveling through a canal. You have your heart, you're guided by your heart and the divine, your intuition here. It's leading the way. And you're having rocks and lands basically on both sides. And you're just trying to get to more possibility because you've already explored everything. You've learned everything there is to be learned from this. And it's like attitudes are changing. The attitudes around you, you're recognizing either don't suit you or they just don't fit with your vision or align with your goals, or you've recognized or realized the dream here. So you are going out to open waters where you can explore other lands. You're needing to make moves so that you can you yourself get an attitude adjustment towards I am more powerful, I can do this, the world is open to me, but also encountering better attitudes in new environments that could help support you in this change, that could help support you in whatever ground you wanted to stand on. There's just something here about like needing the right minds or the right energies around you to feed your soul. You have the Sire of Swords. So this is about having maybe before you've been complacent, you're stepping out of this complacent energy, you're making moves. It's so interesting because Yin is the receiving card, needing to step back and receive for a second, but it doesn't necessarily mean doing nothing because we do have movement here with the Six of Swords. When it's paired with the King of Swords, we are talking about somebody who is of sharp mind. The purple butterfly here is symbolic of a transformation of sorts. So it's almost like you've transformed from past like transgressions from other people, past issues. Maybe you've harmed yourself in some way through some type of belief, or you've kind of put yourself through hell when you recognize, oh snap, I don't have to put up with this. I don't have to be mean to myself. Or, oh snap, I don't have to be in this situation. I could just leave. You know, like there's something here that's transformed in the mind where you're like, oh snap. Wait a minute. I'm getting like a hold up, wait a minute type of energy. And usually when the King of Swords pops up, the Sire of Swords, it's usually a card that comes up because Spirit needs to remind you that you're smarter than you think. You have more skills that can be utilized in other ways that like would more fill up your cup or benefit your soul. There's just something here about like there's something here about like, wow, this is interesting. So the energy I'm getting is somebody who was using their skills or their talents in one sphere, but it's almost like they need to be channeling it through something different. They can use those same skills and talents in something else, or needing to make a shift, like they can better serve the world in a different place or a different location or like a different industry, or like they need to shift their efforts towards something else. And you have the mentality, you have the skill set to be able to sustain somewhere else. But sometimes change is hard. I'm hearing like, pardon me, but I don't belong here. That's actually just the thing that came to mind. I heard like, pardon me, sorry, not sorry, I don't belong here. But it's being aware and understanding and also trusting that when you make that move, because it's almost like a fear thing, like maybe you've stopped yourself from moving forward before because you were worried that if you moved out of the canal and went to open waters that you wouldn't find somewhere you would belong. But it's like you're understanding, oh, when I move away, like I am finally ready to take that leap. I am finally trusting that wherever I go, Spirit will follow and will try to connect me with the places and the things that I need in order to feel supported and feel sustained. You have Temperance here. Temperance is the act of patience. So it's interesting because I say where there's a will, there's a way. I always say this on this channel, but for whatever reason, the message is channeling through with this is just because you will it doesn't make it so. Sometimes things that we want need to take time. So some of you may actually need to exhibit patience when meditating. You're not going to get all the steps. You're going to get what's needed next. Okay. You're only going to see 1 step ahead or 2 steps ahead, not 5 steps ahead. And that's just something that you need to be comfortable with or learn to deal with uncertainty. There's just this there's this upset with dealing with uncertainty, and Spirit's like, just have patience, trust us, we got you. Okay. You also have solitude. So coming back to your center, coming back to yourself. Let me pull some tarot here so we can talk about it. And again, this is reconnecting with who you are as a person, to make sure, like, it's almost like reassuring yourself that you're going in the right direction. Oh my gosh. You have 2 5s here. You have the 5 of Swords and you have the 5 of Pentacles. And I'm hearing like, please believe in yourself. Please believe in yourself. 5 of Swords, I feel like this is you beating yourself up. This is you beating yourself down. Swords is words, intentions, or not quite intentions, but it's almost like the beliefs and the words that you use. And it's almost like they are just attacking, like you're attacking yourself. And this is that suffering and self-doubt, and it's coming from a lack mentality with the Five of Pentacles. This is not feeling good enough in yourself, not feeling wise enough, I'm hearing, to make the moves that you're making. And this is why solitude is important, because you are reconnecting with yourself. You are not only recognizing your power here, and you know, it's almost like Spirit's like, you know, you need to stop these things, or these are the things that need to be mended. It's like like when you're doubting yourself, or when you're, I see you still moving forward, Pisces. It's just you're stopping yourself. Like it's a sludge fest. I see you dragging your feet in the mud, and the only reason why it's dragging and not just regular walking is because you're doubting yourself. And that's the only resistance I feel like is being offered. Any type of thing in the external world might just be reflective of your inner world of, oh my gosh, the world is working against me because I don't deserve this, or because I got it wrong. You know, maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be, quote unquote, supposed to be doing. Life is whatever you make of it. And I just feel like there's like a lack mentality with this Five of Pentacles of like, oh, like maybe like a victim mentality too, like the world is happening to me, not for me. But it's almost like feeling stuck in your circumstances and kind of beating yourself. But this is a mindset. I'm getting that this is just a mindset, and that's what solitude needs to bring you. Solitude needs to bring you resolution with these two things. It's not going to be healed like immediately. This is something that over time is like healed in the soul, and something that actually takes like active work on. I'm actually getting the word psychology, which is interesting. I'm a psychology major, so, or like I have a psychology degree. So I am getting that this is like a psychological thing that maybe you've been challenged with for a great portion of your life, and it is something that's like a lifelong thing. I'm not saying it's something that you'll like it's going to be this hard forever. That's not what I'm saying, but it is kind of like one of those. I would direct you to do I have that book still? Oh my goodness, do I have that book? Let me see. Hold up 1 second, Pisces. Maybe I have that book in my bookshelf, or maybe I gave it away to somebody. Hold up, because there is an amazing book that I have that I want to share with you. And if not, if I don't mention it here, I'm going to pop it up on the screen. And, here it is. Oh my goodness. This book is right up my alley. And as you can see, I didn't get too far in it, but I've definitely skimmed the book, and I've looked at many different chapters. The Power of Positive Energy by Tanaz Chubb, creator of ForeverConscious.com. Everything you need to awaken your soul, raise your vibration, and manifest an inspired life. This just talks about positive energy. It does have a little bit of psychology sprinkled into it. And there's also, actually, you know what? I think I gave that book to one of my relatives. There's also a positive psychology book that I would highly recommend. I'm actually going to link it down below and have like an Amazon link. Same thing for this one. But this is almost like, yeah, this talks about like remembering your connection to the earth, what to do when you feel stuck, dealing with conflict authentically, removing the masks you hide behind, how the moon can impact your feelings. I mean, this is kind of like a basic thing, but the universe doesn't cause suffering. Your thoughts and feelings do. And I hope you don't mind, but I'm actually going to read you a passage. Ooh, guys, you're going, I haven't actually read this passage, but I love that I flipped to it. Seemingly bad things happen to good people all the time. It is important to understand, however, that bad is relative. What you initially perceive as bad, as being bad, it may end up being the best thing that ever happened to you. For example, you may feel that it is bad to get a divorce. In the first year after the divorce, you might feel an immense amount of suffering and pain. But as your life moves on, you may start to realize that getting divorced was a good decision that freed you up to make changes in your life. Over time, you may start to see the silver lining and how things needed to unfold the way they did for a greater cause or purpose. Perhaps you start to see how the timing and all the events that unfolded were actually perfect, which we never see until like in hindsight. We see these things in hindsight, right? So this is that big part of trust that the universe is asking of you. If you give yourself the ability to look at life this way, you are always going to have the tools and strength you need to breathe through your suffering rather than allowing it to consume you. Looking at life in big picture terms also allows you to see the lesson that is unfolding and how the suffering is ultimately leading to an immense period of growth and development. It also allows you to see your life as a perfect sequence of events that is always unfolding as it is meant to unfold. So this has like some exercises too you can do. Like this exercise is getting to the root of your suffering, tapping into creative powers, your role as a co-creator, as I'm just flipping through this book, unconditional love, the most powerful energy in the universe. So it does touch on a lot of spiritual aspects. It talks about a lot of like the positive energy that we feel, and there are some spiritual practices in this book And I saw like a money problem thing in here too. So if you're struggling with finances, it seems like this book touches on that a little bit too. But I do see this as being like a basic kind of overview of something that could inspire you to move forward if you're interested in self-help books. I'm also going to link Positive Psychology below. It's more cognitive behavioral therapy. It is like very concrete, workshoppable things that you can do. And I just found it so enlightening. So that's why I gave it to a relative, because I was like, you could use this book. I will also link that down below, but just different resources if you're book nerds like me and you're looking to expand your search and take in some of that information, right? So we talk about the Nine of Cups under solitude as well. So with these fives, yes, this is the mentality that we kind of need to work through, and this is what that solitude and coming back to ourselves is going to help us do. But the Nine of Cups, we're also getting in touch with our wants and our desires, because the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. So this is actively putting your wishes out there, actively trying to figure out what your wishes are, and this will help you set your sights higher with Stargazer here. We're going to pull some tarot and talk about it. But Stargazer, it's almost like you understand that maybe the things that you've wanted before don't hold up, or you're like, oh, maybe I thought I wanted something, but for a lot of you, you might have. I'm getting somebody who's wanted something concrete. Oh, I want that amazing job. I want this amazing job that pays this rate. I want this specific material thing. And Spirit is asking, but get to the heart of it. Why do you want it? Is it, and you might say, oh, well, like it pays good and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I just want that job. Spirit's asking you to get to the core of what it is that you want, because it can be manifested in other opportunities. And you know this. That's why you're making the moves with the Six of Swords. You are moving on. Set your sights higher. Some of you could be in a relationship with this Two of Cups. Some of you have like a soulmate in your energy, which doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. It can be a sibling that you're really close with. It could be a really close friend. But there's like a soulmate connection here that can be your support through this and to help you recognize that you can go higher, to help you recognize that you're worth more. It is through other relationships, I feel, that we often see our own worth reflected back at us. How we feel about ourselves is typically like the relationships that we find ourselves in. So use that as a mirror and look at that and see, don't judge your worth based on how someone else is treating you. That's always something that you should, but I typically find that the relationships that we find ourselves in, that's the challenge, right? Is understanding understanding that our relationships, the ones that we choose, are how we feel about ourselves, and what we feel we deserve. You also have, you have the Nine of Wands and you have the Four of Pentacles. So the Nine of Wands, it's almost like, Spirit's telling me to tell how it is. So I'm going to hold up these two cards, and I'm not going to actually I'm not going to tell you the traditional meaning of these cards, because there is something very clearly being channeled through with these cards. And I don't want to block it in any way by just diving into each individual card. You've really held back on the things that you wanted because you felt like you couldn't achieve it. Straight up, Pisces. Like, whether it be because of finances, that Four of Pentacles about holding things to yourselves, but you've been holding something back. You've been keeping it close to your heart. You've been saying no thanks, or not even no thanks, but you've been jumping the gun and saying, like, I can't get this thing, because you felt like you couldn't achieve it, or you felt like for your circumstances were barring you from moving forward. And that's why you haven't set your sights higher. Oh, I can't go to school because I don't have money. I can't create this thing because I don't have the time on my hands because I constantly have to work. Or I can't do this thing. You're moving on it, and I see you moving. I see you moving on this, Pisces. So don't get me wrong. I see you moving on this, but again, it's that mentality, Pisces, that's holding you back. Temperance, Nine of Cups, and Four of Pentacles, all in a line. Some of you might have financial troubles. A lot of this is just needing patience to build it up. Some of you want that financial stability, and I get that. The Four of Pentacles does deal with material. Some of you, it's energy. It's like wanting to conserve your energy, or wanting to maintain something in the physical that you feel like it's like a resource that you're spending. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, but it's something that, you're spending a lot of your time, you're spending a lot of your money, or you're spending a lot of your energy, and it's wanting more of that thing. It's not that you're actively spending it. It's more of like a feeling of lack. There's that Four of Pentacles is like another one of the lack cards, right? So it's that not only the mentality of lack, but it's also just because of that feeling of lack. It's almost like you need to spend time with your wants with patience. You need to spend time with the things that you want and really get to the heart of it, because it's going to make manifesting a lot easier for you. Okay. That being said, and I feel like that lack mentality also makes you feel a little guarded too. So again, if you have that close relationship in your life, if you have a romantic partner, if you have that one-on-one connection, that soulmate connection of some sort, regardless of who they are, you know, kind of use them to help bump you up a little bit, hype you up, be your hype man, hype woman, whatever. Like, see what's possible for them. Like, if you're with somebody who you find to be the most amazing person, isn't that you feeling like you're the most amazing person? Or, you know, recognizing, oh, this is the love that I deserve, or this is, you know, like, that is possible for me because I've seen somebody else I love do this. Oh, Scorpio got a similar thing, Pisces. Some of you, this is a romantic connection. So anyway, strength and with this strength, we're pulling a strength heart challenge for this. The strength is getting intuition and downloads. Scorpio got the same thing. So this is like, this could be when you're doing dishes. This could be when you're in the shower, where all of a sudden something comes to you. You know, people say that their best ideas come to them when they're doing dishes or when they're in the shower or something, like those shower thoughts. That's usually the divine downloads. Maybe when you go to sleep and you wake up with a completely different energy, you probably receive divine downloads. This is a strength that you're having at this time. This is something that, you know, Spirit is sending you these signals, which doesn't surprise me, Pisces, because you have yin here. This is the act of receiving divine information, either through meditation or through going about your daily tasks and not pushing. Yin is about not pushing. You're still, it doesn't mean sitting down. It doesn't mean taking naps. Though sometimes it can mean, like, you know, needing to jump back a little bit and just do nothing for a little bit and just reconnect. This is just simply understanding that you can't force things and make it happen. Yin is just the act of allowing things to flow naturally. Okay. And the strength is, it's almost like you're getting in step, in tune. It's like you're getting in touch with your divine energies, your divine self, and then you're receiving like powerful information at this time from Spirit. What's coming up from the heart is romance and connection. So some of you, like I said, quite literally have romance dancing in your energy. This Two of Cups could be a romantic connection you're with. For a lot of you, it could be just romance dancing in your sphere, if that's something that you wanted, something that you are seeking. For a lot of you, you might be setting your sights on trying to find that special someone, trying to find that other half, or I don't like to say other half because we don't need the other person to make us whole, but typically finding someone that complements you, basically. So I do want to correct my wording there because that was a very cliche thing. I don't believe this other person completes you, but there's definitely an unconditional love that you would want to share with someone, or something that you are longing for, if you don't have it already. Or it's also like, if you're in a relationship already, it is loving your partner. It is like strengthening your connection with your partner. If you're looking for it, you might be setting yourself higher, setting your sights higher for, like, I expect more from a partner, because maybe they haven't treated, people haven't treated you right in the past, and you're like, I long for more, I will get more, and you might have felt guarded in some way because of that, right? And the challenge here is no. So a lot of times this is accepting no for an answer. So it's almost like not returning to the same things, not turning around and going back and doubling back in fear out of doubt, you know, because you're afraid you can't find something else or someone else or a different situation or a different land to grow. I'm hearing like grow a family on. For some of you, this is like a romantic connection that you're trying to grow a family with. But I see like finding a new island, building a hut. And for a lot of you, there's this energy, like with this challenge, the challenge is recognizing what exactly isn't right for you. But for whatever reason, I'm feeling drawn back to the yin and the solitude card. This is just, again, stepping back to yourself and reconnecting with what it is that you want and what your goals are. Like, what do you see for yourself in the future? What would you want for yourself? What fills up your heart? No matter how silly, preposterous, ambitious it is, Spirit wants you to connect with that. The challenge here is just recognizing what is not for you. And that's okay to have that as a challenge. But I do think that the reason why you would be going back to old things or familiar things is because this change might be a little difficult. And I feel like your soul is picking up on this, or you are picking up on this. If you are, you know, if your thoughts are venturing back to staying in the same place or going back to familiarity, I do see you drawing within even more. There's a reason why some of you feel a little stagnant, and it's because you are trying to go back to familiarity out of fear or out of, you know, that feeling of doubt, like, oh, maybe I can't do better, or maybe I can't, you know, I'm hearing like sink or swim. So like, but it doesn't have to be sink or swim, Pisces. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Just trust that things are going to happen, and it might happen slowly, and you might not get all the answers tomorrow or today even. You know, I wish I could give you the answers, but Spirit won't give them to me either. It sucks the joy, it sucks the surprise, and it kind of robs you. If you're given the answers, it kind of robs you of your own growth, because Spirit wants you to recognize things before you get them. They want you to recognize your worth before you get it. And they will try to help you realize that, but you're going to have to realize it before you start achieving these things or getting these things, because the change has to be made internally, right? So working on the self here, you have 723. I'm pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. 723. There is an energy of moving up and moving forward. What did I say at the beginning of this? Like moving up, moving on, moving forward. I rest my case. There is an energy of moving up and moving forward around you at this time, but it's important to release the need to measure your success and to focus more on the blessings you can bring to the earth. Small steps are still steps. Know that angels are with you. One more time. There is an energy of moving up and moving forward around you at this time, but it's important to release the need to measure your success and to focus more on the blessings you can bring to the earth. Small steps are still steps. Know that angels are with you. That being said, Pisces, I really hope this helps you in some way. And as always, if this resonated, like, subscribe, and all the things. I post weeklies, collectives, everything in between. If you want to learn tarot, go to my Instagram. I also have a TikTok if you want to follow me there. I think I post more like personal stuff on my Instagram and TikTok if you want to get to know me, if you want to get to know my life, see more ferrets, see my corgi friend. I do like posting on my stories sometimes there, my planty adventures and all that. And if you want a personal reading from me, you can get that at amandandozy.com. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.